Just outside of Phoenix lie these beautiful mountains and valleys where the birds sing and the balloons fly high. Over the course of 2 days, I'll be hiking 44 miles surrounded by massive cacti and other really cool plants. Rewarding glows as the sun rises, and cold, peaceful solitude as I hike in the dark. This is the Phoenix Sonoran Preserve. I'm here at the Phoenix Sonoran Preserve, and over the next 2 or 3 days, I'll be hiking everything inside of it. There are 3 big sections of the preserve that are kind of split off to make it to 2 or 3 days. Each one takes about 4 to 6 hours. It might take a little bit longer because I'll be recording and taking pictures and stuff, but we'll see as we go. Over the course of all of this, it should get about 44 miles in total. And today I'll be doing the first one, which is a loop around 2 peaks. So I'll be going clockwise on the trail. Then once I hit a little trail offshoot that goes to the peak of the first one, I'll do that, come back down, continue the loop all the way around, do the same thing with the second peak, and then come back. And that will do the whole first section of the trail. Tomorrow I'll be coming back and I'll have some more time, so I might be able to fit both of the other 2 big sections into one day. But that'll be about like 10 hours. I just want to give you guys a visual of what I'm going to be doing. So this is the whole map. This is the first section I'll be doing on the first day. And then on the second day, I'll be trying to do all of this. Now, I'll be starting right here for the first day, coming around, following over here, summiting Dixie Mountain, going back down, going all the way around, coming back to the trail, then following over here to Union Peak, summiting that up top, and then coming back down and doing a loop all the way back around, coming back until we get to the parking lot. For day 2, I'll be starting right here, and then I'll be following this trail all the way over here. I'll be summiting this mountain, going back up here, following the Sidewinder Trail all the way over here, up and down through the mountains. Then I'll get to the Desert Hills Trailhead, swing back around, and then just follow the orange line all the way back to the parking lot. Once I do that, I'll be doing this side, following this trail on the outside to the edge, then coming back in, and then I'm going to see if I have time to do the Apache Wash Loop. It's beautiful out. The sun's starting to rise right now. I hope to see a lot of wildlife, and it's really cold. It is 38 degrees. Let's just get into it. It is so fucking cold out, you guys. My hands feel like ice right now. I am not very cold tolerant. Not that I'm heat tolerant either. If it could just be 70 degrees all the time, I'd be so happy. But there are a bunch of hot air balloons and they look so pretty. It's feeling a little bit better now that the sun's coming out, but I am still so fucking cold. One thing I'm pretty sure about is that these guys right here are also cholla cactus. So they're just different variations of it. See, you can tell how different they are comparing to these little fluffy ones. They're both cholla cactus, which I had no idea. But honestly, it kind of makes sense because they both have the really fluffy looking spines. This one's just more puffy. That's so tragic. We got more of the foothill Palo Verde trees right here. Another way you can tell which one it is because the leaves, it's hard to tell, but they're very tiny, what's left of them anyways. I think the other Palo Verde has clusters, whereas this one is just one stripe of baby leaves. That looks like it's something's nest. It's like it drug a bunch of sticks and brush into there to keep warm. I'm using a new phone stand for this one, and it sucks. If I put it tall at all, it falls over. It falls over if it's just on a little uneven ground. I'm throwing this away when I am done, because I can't. I'm going back to my bendable one that's tiny. Look at all those cholla cactus on the side. Wow. The whole hill is covered. And we've got the whole new generation starting at the bottom right here. So it looks like there used to be a wash right here. I don't know if it still gets filled during monsoon season, if we have a monsoon season anymore, but you can see where all the erosion started, and there's just a path that goes all the way through here where the water went. This beautiful monster right here is Dixie Mountain. We're gonna summit this one, come back down, continue to loop, and then another mountain somewhere way over beyond these mountains. This cholla cactus is the tallest one I've ever seen. It's taller than I am. We're at the junction splitting off to Dixie Peak, so we're gonna do that, come back down, and then start the trail going that way. These dead looking bushes are all along the trail, but they are not dead. They're waiting for some nice water so they can plump up their leaves and put out some beautiful yellow flowers. Look how big this Acatillo is. Beautiful. We got the whole open valley over here. Wow. Made it to the top of Dixie Mountain. Right over there, all the way across the valley is that giant mountain over there that we're going to next. But I'm gonna take a little rest up here before I do that. Go all the way back down to that junction, wrap around this little valley right here, and then meet somewhere over here to climb the top over there. I'll see you guys at the bottom of Dixie Mountain. And boom, we are back at the junction. We're now gonna be starting Bobcat Trail to wrap around the mountain. As I was coming down, this group of like at least 40 people came through and they like nearly ran me off the trail. Like no one was paying attention, so they kept almost running into me, and I'd stop and kind of move to the side, and it was just so fucking irritating. Like some people are so entitled. If you're gonna bring a group of people like that, you need to know how to share the trail. It is not a one-way thing. People come and go from both sides. So disrespectful, and it pissed me off, but I'm not gonna let that ruin the trail for me. It's over. And they're far away, so we probably got at least 2 miles that are a long stretch of just flat area, so this one should go by pretty quickly, and I don't know how much there will be to see, so let's go. I just saw this massive cactus, and I don't know if this one's another kind of cholla cactus as well. I think it is, but this variety I have never seen so big before. Just for size reference, this one right next to it, this is about the size that I've seen them everywhere, and this one's 2 or 3 times as big as that one, and it's amazing. Wow. Even this one right here, this one's got a really nice spread to it, whereas this one's very tiny. It's really cool to see really mature plants like that, because you know it's been there for a really long time. I don't know how long the cactus lived, but I imagine it's been there for a while. Really exciting, I came across a pack of 10 wild pigs. They're about 200 feet from the trail. I tried to get the best video I could of them, but my camera doesn't have the biggest reach, but it was still really exciting. At first, I saw in the corner of my eye and I thought it was just part of the trail, and I thought it was just someone's dog because it was just this big black thing. And then I didn't see anybody walking with it. So I was like, wait a second, that's a fucking pig. And then more little ones came along. It was like a whole family of like 10. It was so cool. It's a good thing they didn't come to the trail though, because considering they had young with them, they'd probably be very unhappy to see me. Something's been laying here in a bunch of spots along this grass, and I'm betting it was all those pigs. We got another spot right here in the grass that they were probably laying. This side of the trail is so different from the rest of the mountain, in a good way though. Usually I don't like when I'm going on a trail and there's like not much to see and it's just flat and there's nothing really going on. But for some reason, I really like this, and it might be because of the dead grass, because it's adding a pop. It's adding something other than just dirt and rocks. I mean, it's just this huge open valley. It's so pretty. We've got another one of these very tall ones over here. A lot taller than I am, that's for sure. There's some deep holes that some animals got under here. I wonder what it is. So I've never seen this plant before. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like it's put a whole lot of new seeds out for a new generation. These are all open seed pods. It's pretty cool. So how these cholla cactus regrow is they just fall apart and then root right where they are. As you can see, all these little babies falling off, some of them will die, obviously, but there are some that are gonna root, and then it'll turn to mounds all close together like that. I'm not sure if they do the same thing with seeds. I don't know if all plants have seeds or not, but I know that's one big way they regrow everywhere else. I finished the loop on the left side and I'm back on the main trail that leads up to Union Peak. We're about 8.5 miles in and we got quite a ways more to go. And this second peak is the highest of the two, standing at like 2,300 something. Let's keep going. At exactly 10 miles, we're gonna start our ascent up to Union Peak.
What are you doing?
Sorry about that. Well, that was embarrassing. A lot of cyclists are using these trails over here, and I see why. I mean, smooth ground, it's perfect for that. But I had my thing kind of in the pathway, and I didn't know there was anyone coming. And it was kind of in his way. So I said sorry, but a little embarrassing. Here we are. The top of Union Peak. Right over there is Steam Hills, and then right here where the two peaks are is Leaden Mountain. Then we got the Thunderbird Conservation Park right over here. Over here we got Shaw Butte and North Mountain. Then we got the Phoenix Mountain Preserve all the way over there. The views are amazing up here. So worth it. And there's been a breeze this entire time, which has cooled it down and made it really manageable. I'm gonna eat a snack and rest a little bit more, and then I'm gonna head down and see you guys at the bottom of the mountain. I'm finally back down. Now we're gonna do the last little stretch before we get to the car. This is the biggest ocotillo I've ever seen. I mean, it is so fucking tall. And there are so many branches, it's so dense in there. Video does not do it justice, this is massive. I'm finally back home and I'm so exhausted. It ended up being 16 miles in total, which was more than I thought it would be. And it took me about 9 hours. It's 4 o'clock now. I started this at about 7:30, and I feel dead. This is more challenging than I thought it would be. Now I just really hope that tomorrow's hike is gonna be really easy terrain, like no big hills or mountains or anything, and that it's just gonna be mostly flat for those really long miles, because that one has even more mileage than this one does, because just one of the paths that I was combining has 15 miles, so it's gonna be a lot, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it's flat. So I'll see you guys really early tomorrow so I can get a nice start on the day. Good morning, guys. We're about to start the Sonoran Desert Loop. The loop itself is about 15 miles, but today we might be doing about 27 miles depending on how things go. And actually, this is 3 days after when I did my last video, because I actually hurt my leg a little bit on the last hike, and I think that's due to not stretching. So I did a lot of stretching today, and I think I'm ready for a very long day. We should be hiking for about 10 hours. So let's just get started. It's kind of scary being out here in the dark, but there's other people, so I'm not completely alone. And it's 34 degrees out. Everything is so fucking cold. I don't know if you guys can see my breath or not, but I'm dying. And it's only 6 a.m. right now, so I have another hour and a half of this freezing, super dark hiking. Right now we're heading up a small mountain, and it's still pretty creepy. I heard some things moving, but I guess this is the best way to get over my fears of hiking in the dark. It's so weird not being able to see everything around you. But good thing I have a spotlight on my head. I can see very far up the trail. You see that tiny little light right down there? That's another person coming up. I do have to say the glow of the city is really beautiful. We made it to the first one. Wow. Then we turn off the lights so we can see better. I'm just gonna get a little drink of water and then get going. We're at 1.3 miles out of 15, so we got a long way, but it's so beautiful up here. Being out here at night on top of the mountains, it definitely is a different point of view, and it's a really nice change of things. Still creepy though. All the way over there on the other mountain, there's someone up there, that little white dot. You don't want to touch this guy, especially in the dark. He's trying to get a hug from everyone that walks by. I'm off the first mountain and we went back down to ground level, and the temperature seems to have dropped down here. It feels a lot colder, and behind me the sun's starting to set. So I hope we can make it to the top of the next mountain by the time it comes out. The sun is almost up. I'm starting to climb, so hopefully we can make it to the top for the sunrise. If not, I'm just gonna hunker down on the trail to watch it. All the birds and everything are starting to get up right now. They're flying overhead, and I can hear them squeaking as they wake up. And I also heard an owl. It was on a separate trail that led to like 10th Street. So I had to make a choice of either going to the side and looking for the owl, or coming up here to watch the sunset. And I chose the sunset because I have no idea if I was even gonna find the owl. So here I am, and it's so worth it. I mean, look behind me, that's fucking amazing. Just listen. They're just squeaking away. These are little tiny birds. I'm not sure which kind they are, but we will probably see a lot of them. Here they are on the trail. That's not what I expected to see on top of the mountain. We're so close. We just gotta go right here and then we're at the top. And look, we got hot air balloons And right there, they're lifting off. Look at this beautiful Ocotillo right here. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely amazing up here. I can see everything, and it is so beautiful. There are so many different colors out here, pinks, blues. It's amazing. Made it before the sun started peeking up over the mountains. I'm so happy about that. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and we can enjoy the sunset together. And I'm gonna take this off too. I had my down vest on because it was so cold this morning. It got to 32 degrees and my fingers started to hurt, so I had to put them in the pocket. But it's worth it. It's amazing. And it was awesome to have a different point of view of everything, seeing everything in the dark, even though it was kind of scary. And there were several times where I heard something, whether that was me making the noise or something that was actually in a bush. I think I heard something. And it's so quiet up here, you guys. Wow. There's so many mountains that I still have to go to. It feels impossible, but I want to. There's something in me that wants to see every fucking mountain. God, is that even possible? I'm trying to see everything that I can before it gets to summer, because then I won't be able to do any big hikes. It's so beautiful out here, but it's time to get going. There's a downside that I'm noticing. All these fucking rich people. Look at this. This is so close to the trail and to this top of the mountain. Rich people get to do whatever they want, and they destroy the mountains. It just looks so ugly with all these houses right up onto the edge. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Their houses get to be built right up onto the edge of the mountain, and they get a road that goes right to the trail right here. It's a little closer than the video shows, but this hot air balloon's going right over the mountain that I was just on. It looks like this was something's nest that they built in here. Look at that. I don't think it's in use anymore, but still cool. cactus skeletons are so fucking cool. They're one of my favorite things about the trails out here. Just look at that. How beautiful is that? I wish I could take a bunch of these home, but it's important to leave everything how it is because those provide homes for all the little bugs and stuff, and breaking down and putting nutrients back into the soil. It was starting to feel good with the sun on me. It was still pretty cool, but it wasn't anything too terrible. But as soon as I went to the shade of the mountain, it got really cold again. It's so crazy how just it takes 1 second to change the temperature like that. Again, we've got a lot more of these foothill Palo Verde trees. The bigger leaves, and they're kind of in clusters. They really are amazing trees because even though everything else looks dead while it's saving for the rains, these trees just keep some green on the mountain, and it's so pretty. This one's on its way out, but it's okay because it did a great job while it was alive. There's a bunch of old barbed wire fence laid around. Must have been from what was here originally before it was made into a preserve. Look at this, we got some bird's nests in here. They might still use it, but it's really cool. So I thought we were taking the trail up to the top of this mountain, but I guess this part is closed. I don't know if it was supposed to be a trail in the first place or not. There is very clearly one to the top, but I'm not going to go on it out of respect for the wildlife. It's our job as hikers to preserve the beauty that we enjoy so much. Look at all these beautiful bushes. As soon as we get rain, we got to get some soon, I know it. I can feel it. But as soon as we get rain, these are all going to be a beautiful green and pops with nice, beautiful yellow flowers. Some people don't pick up after themselves. So we just arrived at the Desert Hills trailhead. I am gonna use the bathroom, thank God they have one, and then swing around here, come back down, and follow the orange line till I get back to the parking lot. I am so grateful for this long stretch of flat ground. It feels so good to walk on. My legs, I can feel them a little bit sore already, so tomorrow it's probably gonna be hard to walk. I ran across this tree right here. I'm not sure what it is, but it's got these really cool looking seed pods on it that kind of curve around. See how it just curved back into itself? We're at just below 9 miles. I'm gonna take a little rest right here, eat another granola bar, and then we can get going again. Let's get going. So right here we have a little underpass that takes you to a trail that connects to that whole side of the preserve that I did a few days ago. This concrete is so nice to walk on. These weird looking balls are called creosote galls, growing on the creosote bush. Gall midges, or flies, install eggs along parts of the plants and a fungal spore, inducing the plant to grow the gall, where the larvae can feed until they emerge and turn brown, as we're seeing. Throughout the trails, I've been seeing these, and they have a lot of them along the sidewalk right here. And there's these little pinkish red things, and they look like they're just shriveled up a little bit, holding whatever energy they have until we get a rain so they can plump out. But they are a nice pop of color, but it's hard to kind of show through the screen, but they are a beautiful pink. It split off, and first we went right, now we go left. This Ocotillo takes the cake for the biggest one I have ever seen. And the video does not do it justice. This is massive. Oh my God. The spread of it is just crazy. And it's super tall. I mean, it's got a spread of like 20 feet at least. This guy has got to be super old, or it's in the best conditions ever. That's amazing. I am so honored to be in the presence of that beautiful Ocotillo. I wonder how many of the other Ocotillos around here are from that one, like from its seeds. I found this bush right here, and it's got these baby light blue, kind of gray leaves on here with some purple flowers. I think the flowers are old, but it is really beautiful. I'd like to see them when they're fresh. I'm finally back in the car, and it feels so good to sit on some cushions. So I'm just gonna sit in here for a little bit, a couple minutes, eat my last granola bar, and then head back out. Now I'm at 13.6 miles. It was supposed to be a little over 15, but there was a little section that goes around the Apache Wash, but I decided not to do that since I'm gonna have to do that for the Apache Wash section anyway, so I'd end up doing the same part twice, if that makes sense. There's a little circle that it wants me to do as part of this section, but then the section that I have to come back and do later is like the whole thing and this much, so it just makes sense for me to do that and the whole section at the same time. I'll be getting canes out of this. Let's go. I'm officially starting the second section of the trail. This one will take about 4 hours. So at the bottom of this saguaro, it's kind of turning red, and I'm not sure if it's the same for saguaro, but I think it might be. But with my cactus and succulent at home, they turn red when they're in stress, which would probably be because of the cold here, or it could be drought as well. So right now we're in what's called the Apache Wash, and the washes are where the water goes when it starts to rain. And this one looks huge. Like, look at how wide it is, and it goes all the way down. I mean, it's from this end all the way to this end. I'm very curious to see what it's like when it does rain hard. Like, how high does it get? How strong is the current? It'd be pretty cool. I mean, they have a sign back there that says stay out when it's flooded, so it's probably dangerous. You can tell these trees need some water. It's been way too long. They're losing everything. So right here, we got another one of those trees from earlier that had the weird looking seed pods and a grayish green like leaves. And this one is way bigger, So much healthier. It looks so beautiful. I mean, look at those leaves. Aren't those gorgeous? And it's huge. We've also got this plant that I'm not sure about. It just has a few sticks that poke up off the ground, and they have a few leaves on here. It looks like it's just trying to wilt until it gets some more water as well. I am so upset right now, you guys. This hawk just swooped down for something really close to me. It was probably like not even 100 feet away from me, but I didn't even notice until it swooped down, and then by the time I got my camera ready, it was already fucking gone. And it was kind of hidden behind the bushes, so I lost my shot. It was like just a few seconds when it all happened, but it was so cool. I mean, it was huge and it was amazing. It was like on that bush right there. That's where it swooped down from, and then it flew like way over there somewhere. This one actually might be the first prickly pear cactus that I've seen on any of the mountains. This one I've never seen before. It is way different than all the other ones. Very thin, very scraggly, but it does still have the thorns on them. Very different growth habit. We have these beautiful bushes scattered all around. And look at that. It's like a feather. So if you look closely, you see that little piece at the end of the little feather things? There's little seeds at the end. Right there, those little brown things. You can kind of see them. Those are the actual seeds. And they're super light and feathery, so they can fly in the wind and spread their new babies. They're super cute. I'll have to find out what kind of plant this is. But it's doing really well even in the drought, because this is new growth right here. You can tell because it's super bright green compared to this stuff, which is pretty dull. So you know this one's older. It's like I'm in a whole new place. The environment changed so much from being rocky and very hard, compact soil over there and just cactus, coming over here and seeing so many bushes and plants that are actually doing well. And then all I'm walking on is loose gravel and sand like this the whole time. Completely different from everything that I just hiked, and I'm really enjoying it. You guys, I just found this amazing plant along the trail. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually growing off of the tree or not. It's so dense, it's really hard to tell. But it looks like this giant mound is just growing off of the top of the branch and just hanging over. It just looks like sticks with little nubs, where I assume more branches are gonna be coming out, but it looks really cool. You see how it's just this big mound hanging from the branches and just falling down? And there's actually a few of them down here. And it doesn't look like it's part of this tree because it's very different right here. I mean, look at that. You see how sparse it is on the actual tree, and then boom, this thing is just dense. So it actually looks like it's producing berries on it as well. Look at those little red things. That is so cool. It's almost like an air plant. We're about 2.5 miles through. Still got quite a ways to go. I'm pretty sure there's so much more life over there and more variety because that's where most of the washes are, which are where the water passes through as it rains. A lot of the plants get to sit there and soak up the water for a while to make it through the drought until it happens again. And the water erosion is probably what's creating all those little small rocks and fine sandy stuff. We got more of these little air plants, or at least that's what I'm calling them until I know. Look at how amazing that is. Fucking cool. So we got another different species of cactus. Look, it's got tiny little red berries all over it. This one kind of looks similar to that other one that I found that I've never seen before, but this one's more compact. It's almost like a miniature version of it. I wonder what kind it is. The vast open nothingness over here. So we got a pretty big cliff right here. Wow, that's probably like a 40 feet drop. Maybe a little bit less. Guess that's why this trail is called Cliff Edge right here. This probably all formed from the erosion too. You can see it's kind of like slanted kind of this way. You can't really tell in the video, but it's kind of slanted towards the edge right here. So the water probably comes down right here, hitting the wall, knocking the dirt down, and then carrying it down with the rest of it all the way over there. I just stumbled upon what I thought was just an overlook area, like some old building, but if I look down here, it looks like it's actually a tunnel. I don't know what it leads to or what it is, but now I have to know what's down there. I don't know where the trail is on this side because I'm about to wrap around, but hopefully I can see what's over here. Well, I got to it, but there's literally nothing here. I don't know what was here or if they covered it up. There are these prints in the sand and they're very big. I'm not sure what made these, but I feel like it's too big to be a dog. That's almost as long as my hand right there. So if you guys know what that is, let me know. So we're at the halfway mark, and this highway right here, there's a trail under here that goes over to the Cave Creek Recreation Area. So just in case you wanted to do that too. I am not, because I'm exhausted and because it's gonna be dark when I get back to the car. There's no trail going over here, but there's some cholla cactus over here that are so fucking huge. They're like growing into trees. They gotta be at least 10 feet tall, and they're all huge with giant clusters on them. That's the biggest I've seen them, and they're beautiful. I'm seeing some saguaros with splits in them like that, and I wonder if that has to do with them getting heavy water at once and then bursting with too much water. Because I know that happens with some plants. I'm just not sure if they happen with these two, because it's split along the ridge, which is where they expand when they get water, and they shrink when they're dehydrated. I'm a little bit closer now, but there's still no trail over to those cholla cactus that are like huge. But you can see a little bit better that they're comparing it to this tree right here. So they got some height on them. Tree back there that I just showed you was at least 10 feet tall. It was way taller than I was. That is so crazy, and it's so beautiful. I didn't know they could get that big, but it really is amazing. And if you can see in the background, it just goes on and on and on. It's like a whole forest of the cholla cactus, and it's so cool. And they're all massive. I don't know how slow growing they are, but I'm curious to know how old they might be. And we're at 7.5 miles. We are very close to the parking lot again to start the third section. Even though I know those cholla cactus would make me cry if they touched me or got stuck in my skin, I just so badly, I want to go up to one of those giant trees and just stand next to it and take in everything, you know? It's kind of magical, honestly. And maybe to you guys, it's not that great, but you know, being here in person, it's something else. It makes it worth it. Things like that make it worth it to come out here, even though I am exhausted. I'm so lucky to be here right now experiencing all this. I've probably talked too much already about those giant cholla cactus, but for some reason, they're like so amazing and fascinating to me. And I just want to see it. I just want to be next to it, watching it tower over me. And also just be standing next to something that's so old. I mean, some of these saguaro cactuses are massive. And I think it takes it's either 50 or 100 years before they even start branching out. So then you look at how many branches or how big the branches are, and then you're talking about like 200 years or something like that. It's been here longer than I have, all these cactus over here, and that's amazing. I mean, just look at this saguaro right here. So massive, probably 30 feet tall. It's gotta be at least 150 years old. This is the closest I've been to one of them, and I've actually noticed it's actually kind of a drooping one. It's so strange, where all the other ones, they grow straight up or kind of angled to the side, but these ones, every single part of it, it just grows and falls over. That is so cool. We're going to be starting the last section, the smallest one, which I'm hoping will only take about an hour because I'm already kind of partway on the trail because they all connect to each other. So the last trail I did connects to this one instead of me going all the way back to the parking lot. Not that it's super far, but I can just start right here. So I'm going to do that. And the sun is starting to set, so it's going to start getting dark real quick. I have my light with me. I don't have my jacket, so I'll be cold probably. And then I won't film a whole lot just because it's gonna be dark and you can't see anything. So let's go. Also, right when I finish this little loop right here, then I have to summit this mountain right behind me. And then I am finally done and I've done everything in the Phoenix Mountain Preserve. I hit 10 miles on the last trail, and I don't remember how much this is. So in total, we've done about 23 to 24 miles. That's a lot. I wish that I brought my jacket and stuff with me, because originally I was just gonna stop by back at the car and grab them, but I changed my mind. And even just the sun being behind the mountain, it already is starting to cool quite a bit. So this is gonna be fun. So this hanging plant is very low, fortunately, but now I can actually see that it's growing out of the tree trunk. It's actually growing off of the tree. So maybe this is just a part of this specific tree, or I was thinking this could be a parasitic plant, but we'll see when I get home. I am 99% regretting my decision to keep going. My legs are so sore, and I'm pretty sure I got a blister on my left foot on the bottom. I can feel it. I know it's there. So now I just have to do this long walk of misery back to the car. But I'm almost to the freeway, which means we're about to go back to the mountain. Beautiful though. So it just goes a little bit further up to the freeway, and then it splits off right here and connects to the same path going back. I've decided I'm gonna go this way and not go over to the freeway because there's no point. What am I gonna see over there besides the freeway? So I'm just gonna go here and then go back. I've done plenty today, so I don't need the extra 1 mile for that little area over there. And plus the preserve closes at 7 o'clock, so I want to make sure I'm back because it's almost 6 right now, so I don't have a whole lot of time. It's already getting pretty cold. My nose is already starting to run again. The weather app says that it's already 57 and it feels like 55. And it's just gonna keep going and going. So the sooner I get to the car, the better. I'm almost to the top, thankfully, and it's still a little bit creepy, but honestly, I'm a little bit more comfortable being out here by myself in the dark, more so than this morning, because this morning I was really creeped out, but still a little bit creepy. And I hear some coyotes howling, but they sound pretty far away. And one thing I noticed is that the open valleys are a couple degrees colder than the rest. So like when you're around trees or in the mountains and then you enter like an open area, you can noticeably feel a few degrees difference. It's so crazy. Oh my god, you guys. I feel like I'm dead right now. Oh my god, look at that red line right there from the hat. Oh my god. From 5:30 in the morning till 6:45 at night. That's how long I've been hiking. In total, I hiked 28 miles today. That's not only the most miles that I've hiked in one day, but it is the most miles that I've hiked in one trip. That beats my biggest trip, which was Big Sur, which was about 27 miles over the course of 3 nights. It was about 2,000 feet of elevation gain. Not too crazy, but considering how many miles I traveled, I know why my legs are so exhausted. I am going to go get canes. I think they're open. If they're not, then you guys might see me cry right now. And I'm gonna go home and stretch, do yoga, soak my legs in some hot water, and then have a nice sleep and be ready tomorrow for work. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching me suffer. I think I need to work on splitting stuff up. There's no reason for me to be doing the whole thing at once, besides me being impatient. And there's a part of me that feels like, oh my god, I need to do everything in one session, but I feel like I need to break it off. Not only to be easier on my body, but to enjoy it more, you know? Well, anyways, I am starving. I need to go. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. And I'll see you guys on the next one.